So it's 6:45. We're walking out of the backpack trailhead on Thursday morning. Get right across State Route 125. So we'll be back here after the day hike loop, taking the Orange Blaze Trail off to the left, shares it with the Buckeye Trail right there. But this morning we're heading off to the right, try and tackle the day hike loop with just day packs and get that one knocked out. So that'll be the plan. We're showing about 28, 29 degrees. No wind, overcast skies. We're guessing we're gonna clock, I don't know, 7.5 miles on this day hike loop. All the trail reports and trail maps seem to have slight bits of variance here and there, but we think if we budget for 7+ miles, we're about on target. So our goal is to try and knock that out, be back at the trailhead to the car at 11 at the latest, starting early so we can have a fighting chance of getting to Camp 2 on the North Loop at or before sunset. So first intersection of the day, off we go on the West Loop. Just under a mile from the car. We did a little bit of walking and shuffling around, so maybe 0.8 of a mile from the trailhead parking lot to this intersection, and off we go. Good morning, sunshine. Nice spot for an overlook bench.
All right, GoPro, you and I are gonna have some words later. We are already, I don't know, almost 2.5 miles in, and I had a factory reset my GoPro. Wouldn't turn on. I kept swapping batteries and wouldn't work, so finally I got it to come on, and it would come on before, but it just sporadically. So try to factory reset, and obviously it's working now because I'm talking to you. So we will see if that is all it took, or if it's gonna keep giving me fits. So I've already had to exchange this GoPro Hero 8 once because the first one stopped working. So I don't know, GoPro, I'm gonna be calling you here soon.
Now we want the east loop.
Yeah, it's not on there.
Oh, lost again.
If you face that way, that shows you that loop. Face that way, no. Let's do it. Feel good?
Yeah, good.
He's kind of like a horse.
He is kind of horsey. Yeah, this is what they mean by PUDs at Shawnee. Pointless ups and downs. So, he just crested the hill. We're catching up to him, and this is forestry management. And the state forest sells off a unit, and contractors bid and come in and do a harvest. That's what you are left with. Can't say I particularly recommend this section of trail. Get up here and it's wet, it's just gonna be like carrying cement on your boots. They just threw the can of spray paint where it bounced and sprayed the trees. They called that the trail. All right, intersection of the day hike loop and the spur trail that goes to Camp 3. Blue shale, got some ice there, some really pretty blue shale bedding down in the stream there. This is the stream crossing. You can see the white blazes going up the hill over there, heading to the rejoin the main trail at Camp 3 where you pick up the orange blazes. Nice little tiny recess cave there. But we are headed back this way. We'll be crossing Camp 3 tomorrow morning. That's about it.
Like this, too.
Stand up straight, Chris.
Oh, looks good now.
Mo better?
Mo better.
All right.
Mo better.
Cool.
The trail we just hiked is closed.
Oh.
Just FYI, that whole north loop that we just hiked, according to this, is closed.
Interesting.
Haven't seen anywhere else, but
Yeah, that would have been nice.
it says it's closed.
They would have posted that sign at the post like this at the other end, then we might have known.
It was also dark.
You guys had like sun bright solar headlamps on.
All right, I got 5.44 miles. You got
5.62.
5.62. Your legs long.
Yeah, I've been walking back and forth.
Yeah.
So.
Howdy. I wonder if that's a vein of iron ore in the sandstone. See it running all the way around?
Yeah, it could be.
So this section of the day hike trail is a really pleasant footpath.
Well, she only got me one ticket. And I figured that was so that she didn't feel like she had to go.
Back on the logging road. Could have just stayed on that and swung around the hollow, I bet.
I resorted back to using my iPhone for videos because my GoPro's not working. So, but I just wanted to show you this. In Ohio, they don't know how to do switchbacks. These are just straight up and down, probably 30-degree angle. I mean, that's straight ahead, and that's only 50 feet up, and it is steep. And luckily right now, a little bit frozen, so the ground's kind of hard. These rocks make it easy. They're not really slipping around too much. But when it's wet, this is going to be a challenge up and down these hills.
Yeah, that's baffling. I don't know. There's stretches where every tree has paint, and then there are others where you can't find one to save your life.
We got some proper single track here. So the white, what is now the white, used to be blue, you can tell it got painted over. The white day loop trail, which connects campsite 3 back to the parking lot, has been really good so far. It is still a little steep in areas, but I'll take steep single track over steep bulldozed any day.
So we are wrapping up the day hike loop. It's 11:15. All right, here we go. Act 2, day 1.
All right, as Captain said, here we go. This trail seems a little familiar because we just did the day hike loop, about 9 miles. Now we are doing the trip to Camp 1 and then on to Camp 2 today. All right, hopefully there before dark.
It's noon. We got nice weather. Heavy loads though. But our target is Camp 2. We'll see how we roll. Well, I'm huffing and puffing because we're headed that way, but we just came up from there, and you can see the X Factor coming up. A hard day on the trail with good friends is always better than a great day at work. So we're out here doing it, or at least Aegis is doing it, and the rest of us are trying to keep up. Should we just edit the track and call it a 12-mile day? And seriously. Hey everybody. So we're on the North Loop. Just an update here. Good to see you. It is 2:25 in the afternoon. We've been going since a couple minutes past noon on the North Loop. Started this morning at 7 a.m. and did the day hike trail with day packs. Hopefully we got good footage of all that, and it's already been shown. Back to the car, we were there by about 20 after 11. Moved some things over from the day packs to the backpacks, which of course, in my case, once again, I've overloaded way too much stuff, but too late now. So we are not quite 4.5 miles in to the North Loop. We just completed our second crossing of Forest Road 6. Right over there, to my left, is the Copperhead Fire Tower. Let me get you a view of that. I don't know if you can see it through the trees there. Just north of the trail. There you go. That's the Copperhead Fire Tower. That's the first fire tower that was built in the state of Ohio. Forest Road 6 runs right past it. If you're ever interested in seeing it, it's been restored. I don't know if the cab on top is open or not, but apparently those who are not afraid of heights and who are reasonably fit can climb the stairs on the fire tower and just get a spectacular view of the surrounding hills. That fire tower apparently was last staffed in the 1970s before it was decommissioned. So I think it's just one of 20 fire towers remaining in existence in the state of Ohio. I don't know how many there were at the peak of fire tower use, but that was the first one in the state. So anyway, back to our trek. We're motoring, moving a bit slower than we had hoped, but our goal is still, at the moment anyway, to make it to Camp 2 to finish our day, which means we'll probably finish the day the way it began, which is in the dark using headlamps. But if we make it there to Camp 2, we can set up and get some dinner and call it a night before the rain sets in overnight. Unfortunately, it looks like no matter where we go today, we will wake up and start tomorrow under rainy skies, and that will persist for the rest of our trip. So anyhow, it's good to have you along. Thanks for keeping up with us today. And now I'll try and go find Aegis and the X Factor, who have breezed past me and moved on ahead. See if I can't catch them somewhere a little bit further to the east. Cheers.
Most of the trails are like this. You can just tell they're bulldozed. You got loose gravel, a few ankle benders, but it's not too bad. We are about 5 miles in from the parking lot right now, and on our way to campsite 1, so a couple miles from campsite 1, and gonna grab water there. I think we're gonna push it in right about dark, which means we started the day with our headlamps. We're gonna end our day with our headlamps. So good hike though. Got to be about 20 miles. So enjoying it so far. Wish my GoPro was working. But back to the iPhone for this trip. Luckily, Captain's GoPro is working, so we get some GoPro footage with iPhone footage.
So there's the water hydrant right down there. There's the top of the tank. There's the hydrant down there. Above Camp 1. The water for Camp 1 is well above the camp. It's up on the ridge where they can access it here with vehicles to refill the tanks, which they haven't done. So this is us hiking away without water. And of course I was a big ignorant jerk and was saying things like, oh, go ahead and drink up now and get plenty hydrated. We'll just refill the bottles and bladders and whatever at the top of the next hill. Wrong. So another lesson learned. First time we've been to Shawnee and seen dry water hydrant. In our limited experience here, we've come here a few times before, but we're gonna have to push on through, hope for a stream crossing soon, or just push to Camp 2.
We just crossed this perfect little stream, and we went ahead and just, we didn't filter, but we filled up some dirty bottles so we can filter later if we need to. And we are passing campsite 1. It is 3:40, and we are gonna push on to campsite 2. But we got water, and we can filter in motion. Ages and I did that. Laurel Highlands last year when we did the 32 miles. I'll put a link to the video right up there. And in order to get 32 miles in the day, we figured out a way how we could just filter in motion so we didn't have to stop and waste time filtering. So we said we'll do that again. We run out of water, which we will, but we'll pass the filter around, and maybe we'll get some shots of that later. We'll be definitely pulling into camp tonight with headlamps. But north end of Shawnee Loop, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, I think last time I did it. And most of it looks familiar, and some of it is definitely new. But I am enjoying every single mile of it. Glad I'm out here. These guys are awesome. Love to spend time with them on the trail. And we are gonna enjoy the next couple days, no matter what the weather brings. So talk to you later.
Okay, so it's coming up on 5:15 in the evening. The last of daylight starting to fade. Sunset's around 5:30. Don't know how long twilight it extends tonight, but we've got about an hour's worth of hiking left. So we're assuming we'll finish in a bit of dusky darkness, maybe at best. So took a pause back there at the intersection with the last road, grabbed headlamps out of our packs, adjusted layers for the slowly declining temperatures, and we're pushing into Camp 2. So Aegis and X leading us out. Woo-woo! Trail design and layout at Shawnee is officially a bummer.
More like ski runs.
Yeah. Oops.
All right. We got a little ridge running. We got another pud. Pointless up and down. In this case, pointless down and up. And so, Captain says we got a couple road crossings ahead. After the second road crossing, I think it's where we're prepped for night hike. So get our headlamps out, get ready to go. Maybe filter some water if we haven't done so already. Get a little video of that. And then move on. We're at about 7.25 miles. What are we anticipating for Site 2?
For an arrival time?
No, for total mileage. What do we say?
11.4-ish.
Yeah, so.
Not counting the 9.5 we did this morning.
Yeah, so we'll say by 12 miles. All of our watch GPSs are close but not exact. So maybe definitely got less than 5 miles to camp. Looking forward to it right now. We're just coming down this, which you can see up there, point. But in Shawnee fashion, here's a switchback to go down to the road that's down there, and then back up to that point there. So that's a good, I don't know, 300 foot elevation drop and then 300 foot elevation gain. Man, woo. We just stopped here to retire boots and in the bottoms before we head up the hill. And I look over here in the woods, and this is not us. This is not us at all. But it's quite obvious that people are, stashing water here. And there's some more water containers over there. And they're stashing water here for their hikes, which, that's cool, great. Come back and get the trash, man. Little PSA right there. Leave no trace. Make sure you come back and get your plastics and whatever you got there, and don't leave it out here. So 5.12 miles is what I have heading uphill here. We just came off of that hill over there, went down to the bottom, and we're about halfway up this hill, which these are a workout. Let me tell you. We're struggling to keep a 2 mile per hour pace today. So it's a good trail, but tough one. So on the north loop, we've got a lot of blazes on the sides of the trees, not on the side of the tree facing the trail. Well, not down the trail, but it's facing right out. So you gotta hike and hope you find a tree with a blaze, although this trail is pretty obvious to follow. It's like a ski run, but every once in a while you kind of get off of it. So it's kind of hard to know whether or not you are still on the trail or not. Okay, it's what is that, 6:17? Definitely dark out. 8.45 miles for the day. We got on this ridge coming down to campsite 2, and it is, well, we got a little bit more ridge running to do, and then we're gonna drop down. So I don't know, half mile, something like that, 3/4 of a mile maybe. But the trail so far has really turned out to be a workout. We're beat. All three of us are really gassed right now. We're at 20, 20 some miles for the day, 21 miles, I don't know. We'll do the math later, talk about it around the campfire, and do a little video then. Right now, just hiking in the dark. Same way we started the day. All right, we rolled into campsite 2. Got 12.44 miles since the car. 31.65 a cent. What do you think about that? 6 hours and 42 minutes. And distance 12.44. Now, that all occurred after the day hike. So, we had a nice day hike this morning of, what was that, 9? 9.5. So, add 9.5 to 12.5. And there you go. We're at 22 miles for the day. All right, and lucky for us right here, somebody left us a dry firewood, and there's a nice bench right here. Check that out. So, Ages is enjoying the bench already. All right, let's get camp set up, and I think I speak for all of us. We're hungry, tired, and thirsty. So as you can hear, it is raining. It is morning. We've already had breakfast. Still got the tent over there that we need to pack up, and packed a tarp up last year, just hammock tarp. Plenty of room for 3 people to hang out on the go. Started raining probably about 10 o'clock last night, and
Right after we went to bed.
yeah, right after we went to bed. And then the exciting part was my air mattress decided to deflate. So I had an exciting night of blowing it up and blowing it up and blowing it up multiple times. So night 2 of not a good night's sleep. Well, we are going to book out of here and head down to the area of campsite 3 and see what has in store for us there. Get that far and figure out what we're going to do, because it's like 35 and rainy, which is not as exciting as it sounds. So we'll see how we feel. I tell you, we are all feeling the 20-some miles we did yesterday. And what are you going to say?
No, just the what I think's already got us worried is the trail is already just the flat trail from here to the water hydrant is scary slick. I don't know if I got any hills in me.
Yeah, we already did I think about 55,000 steps and 8,000.
Well, I think it was. I have about 6,000 elevation gain.
6,000 elevation gain yesterday. So quite the ups and downs yesterday. For 20-some miles, we're feeling it. So we're gonna find out what we're gonna do here in a little bit. Check in soon.
So this is the walk out of Camp 2. We're gonna head on up the hill.
Just follow the big orange blaze.
This is us between Camp 2 and Camp 3, not even a mile out of Camp 2. This is really hard. Trail's the same trail that Shawnee's known for, bulldozed track, that runs up these hills at ridiculous angles. So to give you an idea, that's about level. Looking across this hollow, if I pan over, I think we're doing maybe a 30% grade. Tough going. So, backpacking in Shawnee is always a kind of like a negotiation, and I don't know that we're really winning this deal, but still out here and having a good time with friends, so that's what matters. So there's where the backpack trail used to go. You can still see there's orange blazes there, and I'm surprised they haven't painted over those, but it used to cross right over the top of that summit. Another just murderous climb. This new routing is no easier. I don't know if you can see blaze orange rain poncho down there, but That's the X factor making his way up that grade. It is just stupid. But so that's the first hill climb up to the top here at this stretch of trail out of Camp 2 on your way to 3. And after you crest the hill, you go up a little further. The backpack trail brochure says follow the orange blazes. So in our case, we have the X factor up front. So approaching Camp 3 on the north loop of the Shawnee backpack trail. If you're leaving 2 and heading to 3, so that's a clockwise hike, you end up coming down this road right here. As you can see, we're at Boy Scout Camp Oyo. We're right near the intersection with State Route 125, and this is what you have at the entrance arch for Camp Oyo. Real historic scout reservation. Very cool. They do a lot of outstanding scouts programs with Scouts BSA here. So the X Factor has spent many a night here as a youth and an adult doing training. So we're here at the intersection. State Route 125 is just ahead to our west, right over there. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the stop sign through the trees just across the bridge. There's orange blazes every now and again on the right shoulder of the road, and you can see a backpack trail sign there. You go across the bridge and you hang a right to go to Camp 3 along State Route 125. If you're continuing on a circumnavigation, you end up going even further out to Camp 4 across State Route 125, so it's out on the other side. Unfortunately for us, these conditions really are rough, and we're starting to get knees and feet and lots of problems trying to make it up the hills and back down the hills on the mud and leaf litter and rocks, all the ankle rollers. Things just really stink, man. It's not easy. So we're stopping here at Camp Oyo. X is a good friend of the ranger, so he's asked the ranger if he can run us back to the trailhead to collect the car, and we're gonna call this one, I think, Shawnee 1. So let's do that. Cheers. So what you got, X Factor? What are we doing, man?
So as Captain said, we kind of called it short there. Stopped at Camp Oyo, and our friend Ranger Matt gave us a ride back. I know Ranger from a couple terms of service at the camp a few years ago, so he's a good guy, and he was nice enough to give us a ride back up to our car. We just got changed at the lodge, and we are headed down and gonna drive out of Shawnee, do our proverbial stop at for wings and drinks on the way back, but I think we just decided on a little surprise. We'll show you in a minute.
We're at the base of Copperhead Fire Tower. Just doing a quick look on our way out of the state forest. Really impressive. First fire tower in the state of Ohio. Built in the early 20s. It says here it only cost $1,100 total at the time to build, labor and materials. It's raining again, pretty steady, so we're not going to climb the tower.
Turn here. So although you see very interesting things on these back roads, there's one last thing that we need to do as we depart our Shawnee trip this glorious weekend. And and that's right here, and it's gonna look a little bit familiar. So stay with us.
Leave no trace time.
So we ended our trip a little early, but I feel a lot better knowing we're leaving the place a little cleaner than we found it. So that was worth a few extra miles drive out of the way. Got to see a fire tower on the way here, and that giant Stroh's bottle. I don't know about that thing. That's funny.